it downfield. It is. Oh, it's caught. John Moran in the clutch. Oh, my word. Oh, my God. Deep to right field. Way up there. And way down the sideline. Jefferson. Another huge run. Jalen Red broke tackle. Stayed on his feet.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Blake's Take with yours truly, Blake Neiman. And boy, were my predictions for this weekend's championship games wrong. There were unexpected endings in the final week of the regular season, to say the least. Starting with the Ducks getting shocked once again by the Utah Utes in virtually the same manner as last time to claim their first Pac-12 title and Rose Bowl berth. The Ducks' hopes at revenge were gone right from the get-go, as Utah once again jumped out to a 4-score lead at the half. The Ducks' offense was never able to keep up, being held to just 221 yards of total offense, with their supposed dominant run game being held to just 74 yards, while Anthony Brown played awfully, misreading plays, missing wide open receivers, and throwing 2 lowly interceptions. This is just a very disappointing ending for a team that was once ranked as the number 3 team in the nation. Oregon is now left with many questions that need to be answered surrounding the Ducks' future, with the possibility that Mario Cristobal could be the next coach to hope in this year's coaching departing bandwagon. I mean, OC Joe Moorhead has already dipped into head out to Akron. But plus the new attraction in the Pac-12 with Lincoln Riley being at USC, the Ducks could possibly lose their presence at the top of the Pac-12 recruitment. It's just a sketchy situation out in Eugene, and we'll see how this plays out for the Ducks in their bowl game and as well in the coming future of the program. As for how things played out in the SEC championship, we had another iconic championship showing by the Alabama Crimson Tide, handing the number 1 ranked Georgia Bulldogs their first loss of the season to claim their 7th SEC title in the past 10 seasons and back-to-back going off of last year's win. The Tide obliterated the tough Bulldog defense, who prior to this matchup had not allowed any opponent to score more than 17 points all season in a game. The Tide scored 24 points in the second quarter alone, and 41 in total, with Heisman favorite Bryce Young leading the offensive assault with a record-setting 421 total yards with 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. Alabama slapped the nation's top defense in the face, to say the least, with the pass rush not getting to Young a single time for a sack, leaving the Georgia secondary scrambling to guard the talented Bama receiving corps. The Dogs struggled to find rhythm offensively as well, as Dax Bennett clearly did not have his best outing, with 2 drives in the red zone coming up short of the end zone, as well as 2 interceptions, one of which Jordan Battle took 40 yards in the other direction to the house. Will we get to see these 2 teams duel it out again in a rematch similar to what we saw in the 2018 National Championship game? If Georgia can get their act together again, then it should be another matchup for the ages. On to the wildest game of the weekend in the Big 12 Championship, where we had the Oklahoma State Cowboys looking to keep their college football playoff berth hopes alive with a win over the Baylor Bears in the Big 12 Championship. This game came down to the very thinnest of margins, as after an impressive second half comeback, the Cowboys put themselves in a game-clinching position to try and win the Big 12 on the goal line with under 90 seconds to go. The Bears made probably the most impressive defensive hold in Big 12 championship history, stopping the Cowboys on not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 consecutive downs from the 2-yard line, not allowing them to get into the end zone to hang on to win their first Big 12 championship since 2014 and ruin Oklahoma State's college football playoff chances. The win marks the beginning of sort of a new era in the Big 12, as both Oklahoma and Texas will be departing for the conference for the SEC in the coming seasons, leaving Baylor as the only member of the Big 12 with multiple conference championships. Will the Bears continue to rack up these conference titles, or will some new cats like BYU and the AAC undefeated champs Cincinnati claim the new spot when they enter the Big 12 in the coming seasons? In the Big Ten, not much to talk about except Michigan demolishing the Iowa Hawkeyes 42-3 to claim their first Big Ten title under Harbaugh, which with 4 teams left on Selection Sunday, who's going to get in? We'll wait and find out which order the committee puts the teams in, but regardless, I think it's got to be Alabama, Georgia, Michigan, and Cincinnati getting in. So that is it for college football in the regular season. It was a wild one full of ups and downs, upsets and blowouts. It was lots of fun to cover, and I cannot wait to cover all these bowl games, including one for the Beavs, and most importantly, the college football playoff. Hope you all enjoyed all the action, and we'll continue to keep up with it here on Blake's Take on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and or YouTube. I will see you all in the next one. Have a fantastic day.